Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Also, soon it's time to start our program for tonight. First and foremost, we are very grateful for your presence tonight, and especially to the parents for supporting all of you to make it here. Before we start, I'll just start with a short prayer. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So, as advertised, our program tonight is based on child abuse. And I don't know, it might be too technical a term for some of you, and some of you might have been very familiar with the term. And as advertised also, we have our very helpful resource person to run us through this PowerPoint on the screen. But as papers have been shared around, we move along the process. If you have any question, you can ask the question anonymously. If you feel more confident to ask questions openly, you are more than welcome to do that because others will also have the benefit of sharing in your experience. But if you don't feel that confident and you want to keep your identity very safe, we've got a box over there that will be sent around to all of you. Any question you have, just put down your question and slip it into the box. We will pick up the questions and then try to address it. But you can do it openly or anonymously as advertised. So I can see that our crowd is a mixture of we've got some big boys and girls, and then the little ones also around. So it is part of our plans after today's session. Just those of you who will be much more interested, we want you to stay here next week, inshallah. Sorry, next year, inshallah, to do the delivery, whilst we also provide with the backroom support. So that is an assignment to all of you, so that you'll be able to hold the hands of the younger ones to be modeled by you. So without taking much of your time, I will hand over the mic to Yvonne. She will introduce herself and then we quick start the process, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You have to excuse me because I can't hear very well, so I'm not sure if I'm shouting or not. So I've got my lovely little friend here. She's going
The mic needs to be closer to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, right, yeah.
So she's going to help me out today. So today we're going to talk about child sex abuse, and you've all been given pens and papers. You don't have to write your names on those papers. You can just write down questions that you want to ask as the session goes along. You don't have to put your name on it. Fold it up, and then you put it in the box over there in the papers. Okay? So don't be afraid, don't be ashamed or anything like that. Nobody's going to get into trouble and nobody's going to be charged. So before we start, just wanted to say thank you all for coming, and I hope you find this session very, very useful. Okay, so I'm going to start and I'm going to pass over to my little sweetheart over here. Right. So this presentation is based on the work developed by the Golden Girls Safeguarding Children's Board, and I want to acknowledge that this content is their intellectual property.
Everyone has the right to feel safe. Speak up about the unspeakable. How to keep safe and ask for help if you are worried about child abuse. Information for children and young people.
What is child abuse? Child abuse is any action by an adult or another child that causes significant harm to a child or young person. Did you know that according to the NSPCC, over 51,000 children in England were identified as needing protection from abuse in 2017? Does everybody know who the NSPCC is? Or have you heard of them? Yeah, they're really important. So I would suggest you go on their website when you go home tonight.
Types of abuse. Did you know there are 4 main types of abuse? Can anybody tell me what they're called? physical, neglect, sexual, emotional, physiological. Other types of abuse you may have heard include trafficking, grooming, parental substance misuse, domestic abuse, female genital mutilation, online child sexual exploitation, CSE, forced marriage or honor-based violence with them. Each of each one of these will fall under the four main types of abuse.
So physical, when a grown-up hurts a child on purpose, for example, hitting, shaking, burning, or suffocating. Sexual, when somebody forces or persuades a child into taking part in sexual activities. This could be sexual intercourse, touching, taking photos, making them watch sexual content. Neglect, when a parent or carer is not looking after a child properly, for example, not giving them enough food, drink, no heating, nowhere safe to sleep. Emotional and psychological, when someone is horrible to a child, for example, being ignored on purpose, calling them names, or getting unfairly blamed for lots of things.
Online, any type of abuse that happens online by mobile through gaming sites and social media. Trafficking, a child has been trafficked if he or she has been moved within a country or across borders, whether by force or not, with the purpose of exploiting the child. This could be for child sexual exploitation, benefit fraud, forced marriage, domestic servitude, cleaning, childcare, factory work, etc. Criminal activities such as pickpocketing, begging, transporting drugs, etc. Grooming, when someone builds a relationship with a child and then tricks them or pursues them into doing something sexual or criminal. This can happen online as well. Bullying/cyberbullying. When somebody hurts someone else, such as name calling, hitting, pushing, spreading rumors, or threatening. Cyberbullying is Cyberbullying is bullying that happens online, example social media. Female genital mutilation. FGM is when somebody removes part or all of the female external genitals. This is illegal in the UK and is dangerous.
Forced marriage and based violence. Forced marriage is when a child or adult is forced into getting married against their will. This is different to an arranged marriage. Gender-based violence is a form of domestic abuse, and when someone is punished for bringing shame on their family. This can be physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, or controlling behavior. Child sexual exploitation is somebody tricks a child into thinking they're in a relationship with them. They make the child give some money or affection for performing sexual activities or letting others perform sexual activities on them. Domestic abuse on either a family member or somebody in a relationship with a family member physically hurts, threatens, or says horrible things to or controls another family member. Parental substance misuse, when parents or carers are under the influence of drugs or alcohol are unable to care for their child properly or unable to keep them safe.
Warning signs. If someone asks you to send a sexual picture to them online, if a female family member has had an operation to her private parts when on holiday, someone is horrible to you and is calling you names on Facebook. If an older person takes someone to a place they did not know in their car to meet other people against their will. Your friend comes to school with dirty clothes, smells, and is hungry or thirsty. Someone offering you money or a gift if you perform sexual things either on them or on others. Your mom keep telling you that you are useless and she wishes she never had you, and she wishes you were more like your brother or sister. If you hear shouting at home or you see your mom or dad with bruises to their face,
Where can abuse occur? At home, online, in a hospital, on the street, at a party, in the bus or train, at school. Abuse can happen anywhere.
what does safeguarding mean? Safeguarding means promoting the rights and welfare of all children and young people, but also protecting the most vulnerable from abuse and neglect and keeping them safe.
Mike and the explode.
Who do you tell if you are worried? The first thing to do is tell somebody that you trust and feel safe with. This might be your parents or carers, another family member, your doctor, a teacher, sports coach, a friend, your neighbor, a friend's parent, religious leader, a school nurse. But remember, do not tell the person who is abusing you. This could put you in danger. What will happen after you tell somebody? They will they will then contact people who can help. But what if I wanted them to keep it a secret? It is important to remember that they need to keep you safe. So they will have to contact people like who could be involved? The police. This may be because you're in danger. Social services. They could look at putting a plan together to protect you. Your doctor, if you need a medical examination. But don't worry, they are here to help. Professionals who are helping you should take into account your opinion. Tell you when they have to share information about you and your situation. Tell you what information they will share and who they will share the information with. Give you a choice of different therapies and support. Ask permission if they need to touch you, for an example, to examine you, and explain what they are going to do. Help your parents and carers. Tell you how to contact them, including out of out of hours, and check how you want them to contact. Share any reports and plans with you. Work with any organizations to make sure you don't need to keep retelling your story to different professionals. Write down in your words what you have talked about and get you to sign it if you disagree with what they say. This should be written down too. It's okay to ask if you don't understand something, how you might feel, being afraid, crying a lot, feeling very angry, not feeling like talking, wanting to keep control, feeling suicidal. Remember that what happened was not your fault. Useful information and websites: NSPCC, Childline, Calderdale, CEOP, Kidscape.
Thank you very much. So that was a presentation. Well done. Let's have a round of applause for her. Okay, so if you've got any questions, or obviously asking how to specific topic, you can write it down. We're also going to give you handouts that you can read when you get home. We're just going to give it out now and read it with you before you go. Let's give them a little turn. She's going to read through the handouts.
I'm writing down copies.
They can share the opportunity to that.
Yeah.
That's the adults. That's for adults. These are for the adults. Yeah. So
For adults.
yeah, that's for adults. Only that's for the children.
How many people?
If you share five
Share.
The challenge just said I should give it. I think the web and it's
Yeah, good.
So once you all read and take notes, it's just to reiterate what has been read on the slides. I think the most important slide maybe I've picked up.
What you did about tell you about themselves.
No, I just want to emphasize. So I think the key aspect over there is about the signs of danger. Where or which part of your body do you think no one is allowed to touch without your permission? So as a child, as a human being, you have full right, just like any other adult, or anyone who is not a parent, touching any part of your body at any given point in time. You have the right to resist and you have the right to report. So even at the medical examinations where you deal with doctors and other professionals, whenever they want to have an intrusion, that is a physical contact with your body, they seek parental permission. They get that consent before that happens. So that explains it that wherever you are, you find yourself in the community, in the mosque, on the street, social activities, no one is allowed to intrude or to touch you where you don't feel comfortable, where you feel violated. So you need to make that known to the next adult to you. You can do that in private or you can just speak up because sometimes you'll be somewhere where you turn around, the your safe factor or the immediate adult that you can confide in is not available. So sometimes it's worth it going louder and screaming for help. Don't just keep quiet. If you keep quiet and then you take it home, there is a need for you to get that support, to get it off your chest. Sometimes you bottle that, then that will suppress you, and then it becomes an emotional issue in the long term. So there's always the need for you to speak to someone when something of that nature unfortunately happens in your life. It is the main essence of what we gathered here today. We try to conscientize each and every one of you. We know you go online a lot, you read a lot on Google, but at the same time, the online also exposes you to all sorts of ways. Sometimes you go there very naive. Sometimes before you realize, the grooming has taken a big toll on your life and control over your life to the point that parents will then struggle to get you back into your safeness. So please, just take a point, make a point that you don't interact with anyone online you don't know. Unidentified faces, you don't just interact. If you struggle with that, let your parent know, let your brother know, let your sister know, let your teacher know. Whoever is very close to you, let that person know. So we continue with the second part of the program. I will hand over the mic back.
Yeah, that's 24.
Hand out for children, young people, and staying safe.
Yeah, but that's not the
Body safety. Your body belongs to you. You have the right to say no to any touch that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Hello, guys, are you listening? We read it together. Please look at the handout and then listen to the reading. You see it online on the screen as well, please.
It's okay to say no even to adults or older children. Not the private part. Two, not the private parts. Private parts are the parts of your body covered by a swimsuit. No one should touch your private parts except to keep you clean and healthy, like a doctor with a terrible. Make sure you're not in the room for example, males have penises and females have vaginas. Number three, good touch and bad touch.
The mic go closer.
Good touch, a hug from a family member, a pat on the back, or a handshake. Bad touch, any touch that makes you feel scared, uncomfortable, or confused. No secret. No one should ask you to keep a secret about touching. If someone asks you to keep a touch a secret, tell a trusted adult right away. No adult should pressure you to keep a secret. That is wrong. Five, it's always okay to tell. If something doesn't feel right, tell a trusted adult, even if you were told not to. What to do if someone makes you feel uncomfortable? One, say no. Clearly and loudly say no. Say no, I don't like that. It's okay to be loud and concerned, but two, get away, move away from the person as quickly as you can. Go to a safe place where there are other people around. Tell a trusted adult. Find someone you trust and tell them what happened right away. Keep telling until someone helps. Four, remember it's not your fault. No matter what, it's never your fault if someone makes you feel uncomfortable. Trusted adults. Are there people you feel comfortable talking to, such as a person in your family or school staff, community members, family, a family friend who is sensitive, neighbor, or a leader of a staff group? Emergency contact. The police 999 for emergency. Child line 0800 11
Triple one.
quadruple one. For any problem, anytime. NS, NSPC. Remember, it's always okay to ask for help. You have the right to feel safe and happy. There are lots of people who care about you and want to help you keep safe.
So this is for the adults. I don't think every adult has got a handout because we don't have enough copies.
They've got them.
Yeah, if you don't have a handout, I'm sure Uncle here will email you a copy or something. Or you can take a picture of one of your friends sitting next to you.
They all got it.
So this handout, parents, child sex abuse awareness, signs of child sex abuse behaviour signs, sudden changes in behaviour and personality, withdrawal from family and friends, fear of certain people and places, aggression to learning behaviours such as bedwetting, sexual behaviour and knowledge inappropriate for their age, avoidance of certain activities such as undressing and bathing, nightmares of sleep, physical signs, unexplained bruises, cuts or injuries, pain, bleeding, discharge from genital area, difficulty walking or sitting, frequent infections, mental state of the young. Emotional signs: depression, anxiety, sudden drop in school performance, loss of interest in activities they used to enjoy, fear of being alone, low self-esteem. Prevention tips: creating a safe environment, perform background checks on all caregivers, keep communication open and encourage the child to talk about their everyday. Establish clear boundaries about personal space and privacy. Supervise time. Know who your child is with at all times. Monitor play dates and sleepovers. Be cautious about one-on-one situations such as private lessons or counselling. Body safety and consent. Teach children the correct name for their body parts. Explain that their body is their own and no one has the right to touch it without permission. Role-play scenarios to practice saying no to uncomfortable touches. Safe online practices. Educate your child about internet dangers and online predators. Monitor their online activity and set privacy settings. Encourage them to tell you if they encounter anything or anyone that makes them feel uncomfortable. How to talk to your child about sex abuse. Choose a calm and private time to talk. Use age-appropriate language and keep the conversation simple. Reassure the child that they can always come to you with any problem. What to say? Your body belongs to you and have the right to say no to any touch that makes you uncomfortable. If anyone tries to touch your private parts or ask you to touch theirs, tell me you are not trusted as a right away. There are no secrets between us. You can tell me anything, and I will always listen to you. Encouraging openness. Listen without judgment and believe what the child tells you. Praise your child for speaking up about their feelings and experiences. Remind them regularly that it's always safe to talk about anything. And these are the best of the forces for parents. And that's the end.
All right. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that presentation. I think the last slide that is directly to the parents is just to give you pointers as to how to pick up if a child is suffering from abuse. A child suffers from abuse but might not be able to confide in you, or the child might not be able to speak up. And the abuse might be going on unnoticed, which is very dangerous in the life of every child and in the life of every family. If situations of this nature are not addressed as quickly as possible, the child may turn around to hate the parents for their inability to protect him or her from such abuse that are taking place in his or her life. When we talk about child abuse, it's not only focused on the female child, but it's across because it happens in every society. But as parents, as the signs have been read out, let me just prepare it here. And this is not just to the parents, even some of the teenagers within the households. You may observe a sibling who is suddenly withdrawn, changing behavior, fear of certain places or people within the family, regression to earlier behavior or bedwetting, sexual behavior or knowledge inappropriate or knowledge that is inappropriate for their age, avoidance of certain activities such as undressing and then bathing. These are key signals that there is something wrong with this particular individual. Even in schools during PE times, there are some children who do not feel comfortable doing that in the presence of other students. Sometimes it might be a natural behavior of a particular child, but if that persists, it certainly becomes a problem that needs to be investigated. So it's just not to the parent, but to everyone within the household, because a child having nightmares, problems sleeping, and then the mention of a particular individual, be it an uncle, an auntie, or any family member or family friend that makes the child panic or the child feels very uncomfortable, these are red lights that a parent should be able to unpick as quickly as possible. So I know a lot has been said, and then you've seen a lot on the screens. You've heard a lot. Some have started writing. Probably is good. We come up to you. Apart from what you've written uh, in anonymity, maybe if one of you wants to share a word or two. Hello, is there anyone who wants to share a word or two? Just pick up your mind from what you have observed, or if there's something that we're missing, or something you want to also bring to our attention. You're more than welcome to speak. It's an open forum. I think this is our second time of doing this, so we should be more familiar with each other. On the other street, you have something to say? Okay. Is he going to talk? So, has someone got something to contribute to? Just anything, any experience. It might not be directly about you, but about a friend, a colleague, or a story you read somewhere, be it from the newspaper or from any other article that you might have come across. So you can share that with us. Yes. Yeah.
Even the parents.
All right. But yeah, even the parents can speak up. Yeah. Yeah, the mic close. Yeah.
So bullying is what something brings you day by day.
Say it again.
Bullying is what something brings you day by day.
That's right. Yeah. So you're talking about bullying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does someone experience bullying? Bullying.
Somebody experiences bullying by seeing something being abused.
That's right. That's one aspect of bullying. Someone being ridiculed by others in school, in class, or at the playground. That is a form of bullying. Any other example? That's enough. You've done well. Thank you very much. Well done. Can we clap hands for him, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. That's well done. So he picked up on bullying. So bullying is one of the key issues being dealt with by every school in the UK. And no school is allowed to tolerate any form of bullying. And bullying can come in different forms and shapes. It will come from your closest friends or others who are not that very close to you. And from my practice experience, I know a lot of children, especially uh, school friendship. Sometimes you form a clique of friendship, and then as soon as you fall out with a group, you start having a go at each other. That is another form of bullying. You make new friends, bullying starts, you lose existing friends, then you go through bullying. But guys, are you listening? Hello? Hello? So to all of you here, if any one of you experiences bullying in school, who is the first person you contact? Yes, thank you. Who do you contact? You contact the police. In school, yeah, it's good that you're already speaking about the police, but within every school setting, we have the teachers to try and manage that and handle it. If it goes beyond the control of the teachers, then police will be involved. I know most of the schools, they have designated police officers on campus to help address some of these issues.
But then you just get the tension and then you give the teachers. So the police can deal with it more than the teachers.
Yeah, I understand your frustration. For every punishment within the school environment, there is an equal measure because the punishment should be proportionate to the offense being committed. So we can't just rush the police. Even you go to the police, there are certain measures they could take. I don't think they will go beyond what the school would have done unless the bullying is properly out of proportion. So any other contribution? Should we start? Okay. So we've got your secret ballots. We're going to open them. And we're going to open the box, and then we'll go through the various questions and contributions. So we're not going to read them aloud, but we'll just pick up the points and try to address the points as we go along.
There's a question about who you go to. Everybody in here goes to school, right?
Yeah.
And everybody in all the primary school children, I know you have a safe person in school, right? Does everybody have the same person in school? They can go to a teacher that they like. Yeah? That's who you go to. You go to a teacher that you like, and you know that teacher likes you, and they get on with you, and you feel comfortable with them. You go to the person you feel comfortable with. That's who you go to.
And then when you go into that particular teacher, be confident and reassured that your information is kept secret. It's not going to be shared by the teacher to any other person within the school.
Hello. I'm quite surprised that we should be able to speak to our parents. Sometimes we feel like they are on us all the time. They tell us to do the correct thing, the right thing. You shouldn't be scared of your parents. I think they're the first point of contact. You should speak to them first. It's when you feel you are not safe. If a parent tells you to not to do something, that doesn't mean they hate you or they don't like you. So I think the first point of contact you should trust your parents to be able to speak to them.
But if they're abusing them, they can't.
Sometimes.
That's the thing, you can't go to your abuser.
Okay. So when it
That's
comes
the problem.
Oh,
If you don't, if the parent is
this could be a misunderstanding. If we say they should go to the teachers first, it will be unnecessary things.
yeah.
It could be unnecessary things that they will take, which it really is not relevant.
But the thing is, from the whole presentation,
Yeah,
the point is, it says if you don't feel comfortable,
right.
and if someone is abusing you, so that's the premise of it. The premise of it is not that you go to a teacher when you get with your parents, or you talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you all understand? If you all have a good relationship with your parents and you feel comfortable, per the presentation, if somebody's abusing you, you don't go to that abuser with support. And I'm not saying any parent here is an abuser. I'm saying that sometimes some kids might be going through things. We don't know that. We don't know if someone's a good parent or not a good parent. But like I said in the presentation, as a child, you go with your gut. So if somebody is abusing you, it happens to be a parent or whoever, or a teacher, you don't go to that person. You find somebody else that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that contribution. I know there are still more questions. Sorry.
I said anything from there, he said it's been covered.
It's been covered. That's good. As said earlier on, we are expecting some of you to do the presentation next year, inshallah. Yeah, so we got some more reason concerns. Why at all does child sexual abuse happen to children? What is being done about this? I know there are legislation in place to penalize people who do that. And then sometimes also, as society and community, there is bound to be wayward people, people with certain intent, and then people with certain habits. Sometimes the conclusions are drawn that abusers might have mental health issues, they might have other needs of their own that are not properly met, and certain behaviors are triggered as a result. So we can't really go into the brains and minds of the abusers, but just be quite clear that abuse could come from any angle. Most often, the abuse comes from your closest people or people very close to you. Either people very nice to you, overly nice to you. I repeat, they were overly nice to you, so that's when the grooming starts to the point that they win your loyalty. And if they win your loyalty, then the abuse will start to take place. And there will be threats. You don't tell your parent, you don't tell your teacher, if you do ABC, you'll be penalized in one way or the other. So these are all forms of abuse. Uh, Never feel the need not to report. There's always the need to speak. Even if not reporting, just feel free. Speak up your mind. You never know where support will come from. Okay, yeah. So we also got another question talking about child sex abuse. So as we covered in the slide, sex abuse does not only mean sexual intercourse. It could come in various shapes and forms. Even exposing a child to pornographic material is deemed sex abuse. Someone flashing his private parts onto children is sex abuse. That's enough to put you on a sex offenders register for some time. Touching inappropriately, touching a child from their private part, speaking to the child more sexually, or having a sexualized behavior before a child is also counted as sex abuse. All these actions cumulatively can put one on the sex offenders register. And you know what that means? If one is put on the sex offenders register, some may get custodial sentence, some may get some work to be done with probation services where preparatory work will take place. But at the end of the day, you will be reintegrated back into society. Your neighbors or your friends may end up picking up this information. You will not feel safe wherever you find yourself. Even if you are deregistered after you engage with the preparatory work, you still not have a very comfortable life. So it is an area that we advise that you don't get yourself involved into that. If anyone knows he or she has that habit of admiring a minor or the habit of inappropriate, indecent behavior before or to a minor, there are avenues where one could seek help for redress. It might be psychological issue, and the starting point is also the GP, where you explain your issue, then you get referred appropriately for support. Yes, so this is very important. It's the more reason why we're here today. The aim is to enhance your understanding, enhance your ability to open up and speak up to your most confident individual and try to get the necessary support. Of course, no professional, because safeguarding is a collective responsibility. If a child reports of an indecent behavior or any form of sexual abuse, that person, the adult, be it a professional or non-professional, is duty bound to take it up. If you can take it up in your capacity, you can also go to the next stage for appropriate redress. So whenever a child reports any issue to you, do not dismiss that particular report. Do not downplay it. Do not look down upon or try to minimize the impact of that. To say, oh, this particular child is always making unsubstantiated allegations or uh, accusing people of wrongdoings. But if you have investigated first allegation unsubstantiated, second one the same, does not guarantee that the third allegation will be false. So you need to keep following. In as much as the child makes the report and the complaint, do not put it aside. Follow up, you are duty bound. As I said, safeguarding is a collective responsibility. If a child reports, it's worth following through because the child is vulnerable. The child is looking up to you for support, protection, and reassurance. Okay, so the next point is about peer pressure, and if a friend or someone blackmails you. So as I alluded earlier on, children, as we grow, even adults, we make friends today, tomorrow. Yeah, you want to come in? Okay. So we make friends today, and then tomorrow the friendship comes to an end. That doesn't mean end of life. You may reconnect in another way. Maybe you've fallen out during PE lesson. You may get back together as friends during mathematics lesson. Or when you go out to play football, you may be good friends on the field. Or you go to boxing, you might not be good friends in boxing because over there you hit each other. So, in as much as you follow, whenever the issue of blackmail or peer pressure comes up, you call your teachers, you call your family to share all this with. Because when the blackmailing goes, we never know what sort of blackmailing it is. Because sometimes one could be blackmailed to forward his or her photos. Sometimes it includes nude photographs. It includes your private information that you might be blackmailed to be sent out. But just for each and everyone to know, if a new picture or new photograph of a minor is shared, you the one sharing, you the recipient, and whoever has access to that is committing a crime under the Child Sexual Abuse I'm not getting the right word of the act, but it's a criminal offense for that to happen. So even if the person goes along that line, trying to get all these photos across to you, or the blackmail could be in different way, please seek out help immediately, either to your teacher or your parents or your closest adult to help you out. Never keep quiet, never suffer alone. Be open and speak up. Help is always there. As we have alluded, I know we talked about who to report. Somebody just mentioned police. Sometimes if you feel the pressure and you think you reported to your teacher, you spoken to your parents and nothing is happening, there are community support officers, police officers, always walking around the school uh, premises or at the bus stops, bus stations, during school run or during the school hours, just to give you that level of support if need be. So you try to mimic it. You want to speak now? You want to speak? I thought you were admiring how I was speaking. Yeah? You want to speak? Or you can repeat. You can repeat what I've said. Then. Can you repeat it? Can you repeat? Okay. I thought you could have done that. So anything to share, even the parents, if you want to speak up, well, you are more than welcome to contribute. Any contribution from the parents? Hello. So as you all gathered here, just to repeat what we always talk to you about. This is your center. This is our one and only center. You are all welcome at all times, either for prayers or for any other activity. Sometimes you find yourself wandering around Green Street. Just remember that your uncles, brothers, sisters in here. So the center is open late into the night, and it's I think we go 24, almost 24/7. So there are Islamic lessons on Saturdays, like yesterday. So if you live very close, we can be a part of it. And as we discussed earlier on, we are looking at getting some of you to do the presentation next year. Inshallah. Okay. So whilst we're waiting for our delivery to arrive with our hot pizza, we'll seek to get more contributions from some of you. So there is anything to say. I put you on the spot. The spot so that we just run up and wait for them. Okay. So on this note, we'll officially draw the curtains down and then to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for your time. It's much appreciated. So the program is also on Samsung TV. You can get it on YouTube or on Facebook if you want to have a repeat, and then also to share with some of your friends and colleagues who didn't make it today. Inshallah, next year we expect all of them to be present. I will also say a big thank you to our resource person involved for putting up all the slides together, coordinating all these activities, all things done by Tajus Swat. So we are really grateful. And then to Circuit TV and executives of Zumuntah Association, and also to the parents. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so just go our Imam arrived better late than never. So you just give us a closing prayer. Just closing prayer because everyone is tired now.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, the first place I apologize for arriving late. I went somewhere, some madrasa somewhere, just to go and help the kids. I'm really sorry about coming late. And some of the kids who have arrived, some of them have also come late. Next year, I don't think we shall. This program shall be late. Yeah, because some of them are still coming. They are just outside. Yeah, because it's 4 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, so we're really sorry about that. We go to prayer time. Assalamu alaikum. It's time for prayer. Now we're going to all go to the third party together. Alhamdulillah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim, ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد والهادي الى صراطك المستقيم وعلى اله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله.
Our next project is Beach Party, so we will advertise that in due course, and then we have our Eid also coming up. Hopefully, we're looking at the 16th of June. So on the Eid day, we'll have barbecue, we'll have bouncing castle, and other activities all day. So inshallah, watch out for the flyer, and then after the Eid, we then do the Eid party. Ooh, Maria of all people. Maria. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's